King Charles just signed off on a brand new rule, one destined to change the royal family's future forever. The rule might seem simple, but its impact shook the institution to its core. Any child who wished to remain in the royal line of succession must now be raised full-time in the United Kingdom, under direct royal supervision. No exceptions, no loopholes, no special treatment. And the moment that rule was revealed, everyone knew exactly who it would affect first. Archie and Lilibet, Harry and Meghan's two children, born and raised thousands of miles away in California, instantly fell outside the requirement. They had never attended royal traditions, never lived within palace walls, and had little connection to the routine of royal life. Inside royal circles, whispers spread quickly. This wasn't just an administrative update, it was a statement, a message that the monarchy was drawing new lines, preparing for a more focused, controlled future. For Meghan Markle, it cut deeper than titles or protocol. It was about belonging, recognition, and ensuring her children were seen as part of the story she believed they were born into. But this decision told her something she never expected to hear so bluntly. The monarchy alone decides who belongs. Then came the second rule, sharper and even more definitive. Only children of active working royals would remain in the line of succession. No public duties, no place in line. It was as straightforward as it was severe. From 2020 onward, Harry and Meghan stepped back, choosing freedom over formality, independence over institution. And now, that choice had come full circle. Behind palace doors, advisors described the move as structural, an effort to slim down the monarchy and secure its long-term stability. But in Montecito, it felt far more personal. Sources close to the couple said it was perceived as a quiet punishment, a final detachment from the crown, and a reminder that choices, even years later, carry consequences. This isn't personal, palace officials insisted. Yet, for Meghan, it was impossible to see it any other way. Within days, 2 rules had been written that all pointed to her children, and they were written in something that felt like permanent ink. Before the dust had even settled, another ripple emerged, a formality review, one far more forensic than anyone expected. These reviews were usually quiet administrative checks handled by clerks. But this time, the team was made up of constitutional scholars, legal experts, and royal historians. The review's scope: everything related to Harry, Meghan, and their children. Birth documentation, timelines, residency details, and eligibility records, all under scrutiny. It wasn't hostile, but it was unmistakably deliberate. And while the paperwork was being examined, the real shift took shape behind palace walls. Prince William was stepping into his most assertive role yet. After years of observation, of studying his grandmother's steadiness and his father's reformative instincts, William had become something else entirely, the monarchy's protector. Those close to him described a new tone, measured but unyielding. To William, the institution could not afford instability, not after years of public controversy surrounding his brother and sister-in-law. He was prepared, advisors said, to make hard choices if it meant protecting the future of the crown. William will cut a limb to save the body, one source put it. He doesn't see it as revenge, he sees it as responsibility. For every inch that Meghan pushed back, William tightened the boundaries. Where Harry walked away, William stepped forward. Where Meghan questioned, William reinforced. Where Charles began the restructuring, William was intent on finishing it. And while William fortified the monarchy, Meghan began preparing for battle. Sources within her circle claim she's already spoken with legal advisors in both California and the UK, exploring whether the new succession rules conflict with the 1701 Act of Settlement, the centuries-old foundation of royal inheritance laws. To her, the timing and precision of these changes couldn't be coincidence. The palace called it modernization. Meghan believed it was exclusion by design. Her lawyers warned her, challenging the monarchy would not be clean, quiet, or quick. Every claim requires evidence, records, and testimony. And such a dispute doesn't just reveal procedures, it reveals secrets. If Meghan presses forward, Harry will face an impossible decision: to stand with his wife and challenge his family publicly, or to step aside and protect the legacy he was born into. There is no middle ground left. For Meghan, the fight is about identity and fairness. For the monarchy, it's about order and preservation. And for Harry, it's a battle between 2 worlds that can no longer coexist: The pressure builds, the air thickens, the choices are narrowing fast. Now, the palace braces for the storm. The monarchy is reshaping itself. Rules rewritten, ranks redefined, succession clarified. The institution is closing ranks. Meanwhile, Meghan readies her response, convinced that this isn't reform, it's erasure. And standing between them, Harry feels the gates closing from both sides. Those closest to him say he feels the pull of duty colliding with the weight of love, the echo of two worlds tearing further apart. If Meghan moves forward, the story won't just be about succession. It'll be about legacy, loyalty, and what happens when centuries-old power meets modern rebellion. And yet, even now, the story isn't over. Quietly, advisors are preparing statements. Legal teams are drawing boundaries. The world's eyes are turning once again toward London and Montecito, waiting for the first move. Because everyone knows what follows next won't be quiet. It won't be quick. It won't be merciful. It will be history unfolding in real time, a reckoning neither side can avoid. As the days stretched into weeks, silence became its own kind of weapon. Inside Buckingham Palace, courtiers moved with careful choreography, every word measured, every document triple-checked before leaving the archives. Leaks were feared like daggers. Speculation rippled through Parliament and the press. The monarchy was officially stable, yet tension hummed beneath the surface, an invisible fault line waiting for the slightest tremor to break the calm. Across the ocean, in Montecito, Meghan built her own war room. Meetings that once focused on new ventures now circled around legal precedents, advisors, and constitutional analysts. Strategists warned her that no one wins against the crown, but she refused to back down. Her argument was simple. The rules were changed retroactively, targeted at her family, and inconsistent with centuries of royal law. For Meghan, this wasn't rebellion, it was correction. Harry, meanwhile, lived in the shadow of two opposing worlds. Friends described him as restless, caught between inherited loyalty and chosen love. Each call from London carried undertones of warning. Each night in California reminded him of peace he fought too hard to lose. He knew that whatever side he stood on, the other would see it as betrayal. By late autumn, whispers of a potential court filing began circulating in British media. Headlines shifted from speculation to countdowns. Palace advisors urged discretion, but the narrative was already escaping their grasp. Once lawyers start talking, the crown stops controlling the story, murmured one senior aide. The monarchy's greatest fear wasn't the lawsuit itself, it was what it might unearth. Behind the polished gates, William and Charles met almost daily. Their agreement was clear: maintain unity, preserve authority, protect the line, but deep down, both understood something irreversible had begun. This wasn't merely a family rift anymore, it was a test of public faith, a reckoning between blood and tradition. And somewhere between London's gray skies and California's golden horizon, the story of the modern monarchy entered uncharted territory. What came next would decide not just who remained in the line of succession, but what the crown could still stand for in a world that no longer bowed so easily.